I should have not worn a black shirt so I didn't just look like a floating head. Hello. I haven't just sat and talked to my camera in a long time, so this feels kind of weird and unnatural, but hi. I don't work till later today. I don't work till 4:45, which I can't complain. I'm at my favorite location. I'm a BR guest with the Beast. I'm real excited, but I thought I would just take advantage of my morning and sit down and chat and answer some questions because I don't gotta catch a bus for like another 40 minutes. I put a sticker up on Instagram yesterday asking people to throw me questions about being a character attendant because I get asked a lot of questions, so I thought I would just try and answer them all at once. So if you don't know, hi, Lauren, Low, whatever you want to call me. I'm a character attendant. I'm status in Magic Kingdom. That's my life. I get asked a bunch of questions about it, so I'm gonna pull her on up and see. Oh yeah, we got a whole bunch of questions here, so I'm just gonna start going through them rapid fire. The problem is that a lot of questions that people ask me were the same type of question, but a lot of them were worded in ways that I can't answer them. I'm gonna try and answer them, but I also like don't want to get fired because character integrity is a really big thing. So a lot of these I can't answer because I can't. So I'm gonna try my best to word them in a way that is fine. If you know, then you know. What is the hardest part about the role? Honestly, I have it pretty good. I think the hardest part is definitely closing lines, which a lot of people talk about. Essentially, if you have a soft queue, so you don't have like set lineup, you have to essentially like time to see when to close your line to make sure that your characters are going offset at the right time, which is really hard because sometimes you close it too early and sometimes you close it too late, and you have like very specific times you need to be in between, and then guests get really mad at you because they don't understand what's going on. They need to be watching your character and watching your line and make sure nobody else gets in it. That's why I hate working outside. I really like dining. Dining, you don't gotta close lines. I don't like working with Face, but Fairy Tale Hall and TST, so Mickey and Minnie and Tinker are really nice. You don't have to close lines. Things like that. I don't like things like Long Lost Friends, Mary Poppins, Cinderella's Fountain, so like Stepsisters and Fairy Godmother. I don't really like those, so I think I'm really lucky that I'm in Magic Kingdom because we don't have to close a lot of lines there. Even things like Buzz, your captain will come and close your line most of the time, so that's probably the hardest part. Also, it can definitely be stressful if something is going on with your character and they need help with something. I've definitely had times before where I felt like I haven't known what to do to help them, and that's really stressful. But for the most part, closing lines, but I never have to do that because I work in Magic Kingdom, thank God. Any character attendant story times. I'm actually doing a video coming up soonish at some point about my best guest stories, so I'll hold off on that for now, but it's coming. Can you choose which characters you want to be with as an attendant? And the answer is kind of. I think everyone has favorite characters. I really like working with fur. A lot of people would prefer working with face, so that's like your princesses versus like your mice. So you don't really get to choose in the sense where they will schedule you shifts, but I trade a lot of my shifts to work with the characters that I like. So I really like Be Our Guest, that's my favorite. I really like Crystal Palace, that's Pooh and Friends. Thoughtful Spot is Pooh and Friends, I really like that. So I'll switch my shifts to do that. So for example, this week I had one shift that was Cinderella's Fountain, so that's Stepsisters and Fairy Godmother. I switched that to be a Crystal Palace shift, and then I had a DCE shift, which was a shift at DAC that I was pulled to that I didn't want to go to. So I switched that for Crystal Palace shifts. So I really like working with Pooh and Friends, so I switched my shifts to try and work with Pooh and Friends, which works out well because a lot of people don't like dining and don't like Crystal Palace. So usually they give me their shifts. So you don't actually get to choose who you work with, but a lot of people like just throw their whole schedules up on Facebook to trade with people. For the most part, besides a few specific locations, we are globally trained, so it's really easy to switch shifts. So it's fun too, because you can always like try and switch to work with a specific character. So if you like really want to work with like Baymax, if you've never worked with Baymax before, you can just put up on Facebook like, I want to work with Baymax, these are all the days I have, does anyone want to trade? Okay, this is one of the questions I need to word differently, but essentially this person's asking me is, do you know who you work with? And the answer is kind of. I don't know who I'm working with, whether it be anyone on my team. So everyone that's in that room with you, I don't know who I'm working with necessarily before the day, 90% of the time, but there's a big board in the back and I can see who I'm working with, whether that be like fellow tenant, captain, anyone that I'm with. But I don't know them in the sense where I go and being like, oh, today I'm gonna work with Ashley. Sometimes I do have friends that are performers and friends that are attendants, and obviously I'll talk to my friends about their shifts, and I'll switch shifts to work with people that I know. So yes, but no at the same time. This is similar. Someone said, is it weird knowing your coworkers, whether you're really friends with them or not? And again, kind of, I really like working with friends, obviously. It says, is it weird knowing that they're good at it? There's definitely people that I would rather work with, whether they be friends or just people that are really good at their job. But when you get like a good whole team, it's super, super fun. I don't think it's weird. I just treat everyone like normal. You're there to like fulfill the guest's storyline. So I don't know. But like I said, I like working with friends. There's friends I like working with. There's people I like working with more than other people, but most of the time I have no problem with anyone. How difficult is it to deal with language barriers? I have almost no problems with this. I had a lot more problems last year in attractions because I was telling people more complicated things. So where last year it was like, tap your magic band, put your finger down, move your finger, do you have sunscreen on your finger, like open your cooler, things like that are hard to like do body language wise, where this year it's mostly like, open your autograph book, take the cap off the pen, do you want me to take a picture? Things like that are really easy. Your characters also help you out a lot. Working with Elena is super fun because Elena practices her Spanish sometimes, so if you have a Spanish speaking family, Elena will help sometimes, so that's super fun. A lot of times your PhotoPass will like speak Spanish or Portuguese too, which is really helpful. But overall, I think I'm a lot better at just like interpreting things. This year, my job is essentially translating for characters. So I've gotten better at just using like hand motions and things like that to communicate with people. Pros and cons of the role. I think this will be its whole other video too, so sorry. First part of my job, already did that. Not a character agenda, but tips for reapplying. Redo your resume. So add this to your resume and use Disney language across the board. Add everything that you can that's related to like children, teamwork, things like that. Definitely finesse your resume in between programs. I think people just add it on and then hand them the same resume when there's definitely things to build on. I don't know, just be ready, do what you already did, but keep it updated. I could also do a whole video on that too, I guess, but try to keep this a little short. Do you have to make up stories a lot for kids and adults? Not as much. We have storylines when characters need to leave, which most people don't even listen to, I think like 90% of the time. But sometimes when you're translating for the characters, I go a little off, especially the characters that can't like animate very well. But it's mostly super fun. I mostly really like it, so I can't complain. What other characters would you have loved to work with? There is characters in other parks. I think Baymax would be super cool. I'm fingers crossed one day they'll give me a Country Bear shift because I really want to do them. Even though they're kind of hard, I think it'd be fun to do. Who else? Like a rare character, I really want to do one of the Halloween parties because the villains are super cool, but they aren't out in the parks a lot. But I worked with most people that I wanted to work with, I think. The Dino Chipmunks would be real cute, but like they're outside all day and that's hot. How easy to change shifts? I notice a lot of my friends tend to stay in one park. It is super, super easy to switch shifts. If you stay in your home park, you know where your base is, you know what you need for that shift. Like Studios uses totally different radios than us, so I don't like Studios because the one time I went there, it freaked me out. You know your characters, you know your shifts. So a lot of people stick at their home park. A lot of people want to switch for Magic Kingdom because we're inside a lot. But it's super easy to switch shifts. How easily can you pick up new locations? Is dining training the same as the rest? Super easy to trade, like I said. Super easy to swap with people. Picking up, not so much because nothing's OT approved, but super easy to swap with people. Dining training is the same. I essentially didn't get trained on dining. I got put at Crystal Palace one day and they said, here's the rotation. I said, okay. Yeah. Nicest and worst interactions. I'm also gonna have another video on that. This is essentially asking, do you have to work there a long time to be in entertainment? Nope. People get hired on the college program as PhotoPass, attendant, performer, anything. I'm a attendant and I'm new, obviously. New, I feel like I'm old now. But nope, you'll find performers, attendants, and PhotoPass that are on the college program. Is it kind of is working kind of independently hard? Do you make a lot of friends? This one, actually, I think it is kind of difficult. I definitely made more friends on my last program, I feel like, in the sense where I worked with the same people every single day. I do have friends because I work a lot of the same locations. So your part-timers and full-timers will bid at locations. They essentially pick their favorite locations and they say what days they want to work there and what time. And I tend to get scheduled the same thing. So if I always work Crystal Palace dinner, the chances are is that some other attendants and performers and captains who really like Crystal Palace for dinner are going to bid there for a certain amount of days. So I run into the same people a lot. Also, characters are kind of lumped into height groups. So if I work a bunch at Thoughtful Spot and a bunch at Pete's, I'll have a lot of overlap between some of those there. And like I said, like, yeah, I work at Crystal Palace a lot, so I work with Pooh and Friends a lot. You get a lot of the same people. I work Be Our Guest. I work with the Beast a lot. You see where I'm going here? I don't know how much more I can say, but I do have some really good friends. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, when I post photos with characters, I am friends with a lot of characters like Tigger and Pooh and Beast and Goofy. So you can make friends. I'm also friends with a lot of attendants. I see the same captains a lot of the time, so I like working with them. They're really sweet, and there's definitely certain attendants that I get scheduled with all the time. So I see the same people over and over again. I am better friends with like my roommates because I live with them, but I do work with the same people a lot, I find. But I also stay in my home park. There's people who don't stay in their home park, and I feel like they don't get the same people very often. Does that make sense? And that's pretty much it. A lot of them are just generic. Like someone said, tell me everything. I'm so nervous. I don't know what else you want to know. A lot of them I can't answer because they really badly break character integrity. Not a question. Wanted to say I love you. Thank you. I can't answer that though. A lot of them are things that I'm doing, like hardest part of your job. That came up twice. Pros and cons, story times, things like that. I'm gonna have separate videos. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. Also, a few of them were just like people trolling. Like Liam asked me if I was a furry, so I will wrap this up here because I have to go to work in like 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this answers some questions. If you have any other questions, hit me up on Instagram or in the comments. I'm always happy to answer questions, whether it be taking a bunch and doing another video or just like, I'll answer them in the comments as long as they're not like terrible. But yeah, all my links to everything else as always are down below. I post on Instagram way more than here, and I will see you guys, I don't know, in like a couple days probably. Bye.